What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Rivian. Rivian had a pretty kick-ass day today. I want to go over what prompted it, go over some of the data points and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that said, let's get right to it. So Rivian went up 6.47% today, very volatile. So 994 the low, 1074 the high, and 37.6 million shares being traded, 43.06 is the average. So when it comes down to today's volume, it wasn't algorithmic trading, it was legitimately institutions buying Rivian. So these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So quite a lot, a couple big ones as well. So 2.68 million, 12.4, as well as first thing 1.87 million. So a nice change of events because it's been a good couple weeks since this level of institutions have been paying attention to Rivian. So I see that as very, very optimistic, and they were ultimately buying because of this news right here. So Rivian partners with Pivot Energy to build community solar in Illinois. So even though this actual partnership isn't all that great, it's just to help communities and whatever else, but it is what this is going to lead towards. This is laying the foundation for ESS. And even though it might not be anytime soon, smart money is realizing what this is going to kind of result towards. And when it comes down to ESS, I do frequently bring this up. It is associated to Lucid, but energy storage business could earn 22.8 billion for Lucid by 2030. So there's going to be a huge business for this. You just need the infrastructure. And like I said, with this news and this partnership that is laying the infrastructure down for Rivian to benefit, as well as Pivot Energy. So in my opinion, this is very kick-ass news. I think a lot of people don't really understand the gravity on how important this truly is. And then the only other thing that recently came out was this. So Rivian leak says R1 getting smaller, cheaper battery and heat pump in 2025. So that's based on the EPA kind of certificate in the documents right here. So I see this once again as pretty good news. So if they kind of maintain the price of the R1, then that does mean kind of fatter profit margins. Or if they do decide to kind of lower the prices, then they're going to obviously equate to more sales. So either way, it's a win-win for Rivian. So Rivian's been getting some pretty kick-ass news pieces, and I'm really surprised it was even at the $10 range given everything. So that's just my own opinion. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But without further ado, let's get right to some of the actual data points. Today's shorts did return 581,000 shares. 19.79% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization 69.87. 140.13 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 1.43, so kind of in line with what it has been over this last little bit. Just to give you a good overview of what shorts have been doing over this last little bit. So kind of increased, so went from about 20% to a recent spike to 21.47, which is a all-time high short interest, and that did occur on May the 10th. Ever since then, it's kind of been them returning some shares. So we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. Of course, the FOMC meeting minutes came out today, kind of insinuated that dependent on the data, they're not opposed to actually raising rates. So that caused obviously Rivian and a lot of other stocks to kind of go down a little bit, because especially the whole EV sector, very, very sensitive to interest rates. And then at the same time, they said that basically if everything kind of stays the status quo, they're going to maintain the interest rate higher for longer. So not necessarily the best. So that might, as a result, cause shorts to re-enter over the next couple days. But once again, we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at options, 4.32 million in calls, 2.7 in puts. Sentiment wise, 52% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish. And of the bullish and slash call options that are being purchased, there's a consensus for it to be above $11 by the end of this Friday. So kind of see that being somewhat realistic. Let me know your thoughts on that. I've already brought this up. So these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market today. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So dark pool, often enough, linked to shorting as well as just larger institutions. So this exchange was very very, very popular, as you can see. My apologies for going so fast. Obviously, you guys can always pause it and go line by line, but yep, this was a very popular exchange as what it usually is. And in my opinion, I don't think Rivian should be around that 20% short interest at all. And so yeah, it's something to kind of consider. Earlier today, I did the top 5 most heavily shorted EVs, and I believe Rivian was the 4th, or it might have been the 3rd. But still, it is definitely up there as far as all of that. And when it comes down to this, so with it closing at $10.70, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So 11.20 is going to be that next strong resistance point, and then 10.53 will be that next strong support. Whenever any stock runs up as much as it does, usually there's some profit taking. So going into tomorrow, definitely watch for this 10.53 to hold. And if it does, which with NVIDIA earnings being positive, I think the market's going to rally. But one point to watch for, like I said, is that 11.20 going to be that next strong target. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. On the actual chart itself, today it had that nice push above that 50-day moving average, so it is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. So the next stop ultimately looks like it's going to be around that 100-day moving average. Stochastic, no defined trend, but it is at 41, so somewhat neutral, so it's not considered overbought nor oversold. And number of retail investors didn't really do all that much today. Kind of maintained their position, didn't really add, didn't really reduce. It was just institutions that were scampering over Rivian. And that again is probably because they didn't really understand the gravity of what this partnership truly does mean. So let me know your thoughts on Rivian. Give yourself a shout. Did you buy? Did you sell? What did you do with Rivian? And are you doing options? Dollar value wise, a lot of people seem to be getting into Rivian over this last little bit. So are you one of those individuals or not? With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Very kick-ass deal. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧. So this is a massive win-win. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.